Too fast.
Start again.
Okay. Bergery,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Mensch,
Here.
Rolfs,
Here.
Cahill,
Here.
Marcier,
Here.
Delar,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
9 present.
Okay, this is special call the city council meeting on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, 6:30 PM. Okay, any public comment?
No.
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 Okay. With that, we've got some items to move on in regards to TIP 3 and 4 funds. We'll start off with item number 4. This is the Belmont Area Road Project. Design and construction for engineering services from Robinson Engineering for $45,900. Unless there's any discussion, we need a motion in a second.
Was this all of these coming up here? Are these part of the grant or TIF money, or where was this funding?
Grant,
TIF.
TIF.
This is in regards to
TIF?
TIF money, I believe.
TIF
Okay.
3 funds and
Okay.
TIF 3.
It doesn't say it on the paperwork. I just want to make sure. Doesn't say TIF
Yeah.
1 or TIF 3.
We have item number 4 on any other discussion? Then we need a motion in a second.
So move.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
Yes. Roll.
Okay, roll call, please.
Anderson,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Bergery,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Okay. Item number 5 is Belmont Avenue, Lincoln Avenue, and 6th Street, water main design engineering from Robinson Engineering in the amount of $82,400. Need a motion in a second.
So move.
Second.
Roll call when you're ready, please.
Bergery,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Okay, so this is item number 6. This is the Belmont, Lincoln, and 6th Street water main project not to exceed $800,000 using TIF 3 and TIF 4 funds. We may have some discussion on that as far as other funding that could come from water or capital improvement, just to be noted for the record. But we need a motion in a second.
So moved. Second.
Roll call when you're ready.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Bergery,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Okay, item 7, last item. This is for a Belmont area road project not to exceed $352,000 using TIF 3 and TIF 4 funds. We need a motion and a second.
So move.
Second.
Roll call when you're ready.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Bergery.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Okay, with that concludes the what's called city council meeting on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we'll call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting for November 12th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Bergery,
Here.
Mensch,
Here.
Cahill,
Here.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar, Marcier,
Here.
Rolfs,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
9 present.
Any public comment for the committee meeting? Seeing none, auxiliary report.
Good evening, Council. Last month's auxiliary, we had our meeting as usual. All were present but one. We did review the events that we went through in October and preparing for the upcoming Christmas parade being held on the 29th of this month. We did not have any emergency calls, but during the month of October, we were hired by, the city was paid to have a couple of us at the Roth House for a seance. to make sure that there was nothing crazy going on. I don't know what, nobody dead arose, so that was good. So we didn't have anything to do with there. It was actually pretty peaceful, to be honest with you. It was an experience. All was well there. And on Halloween Day, we did have officers out on patrol, making a presence so the people of Watseka felt a little safer as themselves and their children were walking around the neighborhood trick-or-treating. There was really not much more to go with on that. We're going to carry on with next month and go from there. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to Chief Byer for the fire department report.
Good evening, council. Month of October, we ran a total of 72 calls, up a little bit. For fires, we had 8 first responder calls. Lift assist were 10. 23 EMS calls, 3 MVAs, 4 automatic alarms. Auto aid calls were up. We had 8 of those. Mutual aid calls, we had none. And then we had 16 calls for service. The call volume was up a little bit more this month, too, because of the dry weather. With the farmers in the field, we had a tremendous amount of brush fires we were responding to. Way more than I can ever recall in the last 23 years. With that being said, for training for October, we had rapid intervention team training at the cans. We did ladder drills. We also did ladder drills with victim rescue, hose advancement, primary and secondary searches at the cans. For personnel, we have 4 people right now that are signed up to go through an EMTB class starting January, and they'll be done with that in May. For equipment, 2961, we had some valve work done on the pump. This was work that we knew needed to be done when we purchased it, but we finally got a chance to get it pump tested, and we sent it off to the shop they fixed everything that was an issue with it, so it should be good for the next 20 plus years. The new walk-through doors are installed, and the key fob system is in place. We're 98% there. It's almost 100%. It is working and it's operational. We just have a few more small things to button it up. Other than that, it's working good, and it's with both stations right now. So it's the same as what we have for basically at City Hall, but it's also got a punch code. So if someone comes to the station, a third party outside needs to come do work at the station and no one happens to be there, we can assign them a number that they can activate to go in, do their work, and leave, and we can cancel that number out. So it gives us a little bit more control of what's going on at the station. Miscellaneous, last month was Pub Ed. So we had 337 kids this year for fire safety through the school system, obviously through kindergarten. We do kindergarten through 3rd grade, and then that's it.
You missed the new ambulance.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Yeah, got in a hurry. So the new ambulance, we're actually tomorrow going to pick that up. When we take delivery of it, it's going to go to Scanlon's to get some body work done. That's already worked out. From there, it will be lettered. After it's lettered, it'll have brake work done to it and new tires, and then it'll be ready for service. As of today, we've got all the equipment ordered, and by the time we actually take possession of the ambulance into the station itself, the equipment should be able to go on it right away. The goal is to have it up and running by the 1st of January. The 1st of January is the goal we're shooting for. Once we actually take possession of it tomorrow, that's probably when we'll start working with the state side to get that going, because it has to be inspected by the state, and we can set a date with them. I know in the past that's usually what takes the longest, but since we've done it before, I don't want to say we know how to streamline it, but we're familiar with the process and we can make it more efficient now. Is there any questions with that? No? All right. One thing we did do, so since we were able to do a little bit of shopping, I don't mean to talk about this a whole lot, but with that ambulance, so one thing we were looking at with the price of cots and stuff, and with some of the budget that we were allowed, we did a lot of searching and we came across what we call a power load cot. So it's a cot that allows for bigger people per se, and it also will allow us to load that patient into the back of the ambulance with no ease, basically minimal effort. Statistically, that does good for back injuries and prolonged injuries on workman's comp, and we were able to find one for a fraction of the price. So we're actually going to put a full power load system in the back of the ambulance. Again, we will be the only ones in Iroquois County with that system. So it is pretty slick once we get it installed. We would definitely like to give a demonstration to show how well it really works. So, And the rest of the equipment's already been ordered. Everything should be here within the next couple weeks. So,
Maybe we should remind the public how the ambulance was purchased.
so the ambulance, how this came to play was, one of the questions that was always asked is, were we going to be charging or billing for EMS services? Unfortunately, every EMS service that's out there today, nobody does it for free. It's just the way it works, unfortunately, because it is a service that requires specific training that you have to acquire and go through. For example, a paramedic, to go through paramedic school, just that class is $8,000 to $9,000, and that doesn't include to become an EMT, which is losing an additional $1,000 to $1,500. So by the time it's said and done, you're looking at least a minimum of $10,000 per person to be able to operate that ambulance efficiently. So with that being said, since we have been doing transports and billing like normal, the money that we have acquired through billing is what we've used to purchase the vehicle, and that's where that came from. And that was kind of hopefully the mindset and the goal when we started this also, was to reinvest back into our organization and back into the city itself.
So how many fire trucks ambulance do we have now?
We just have one.
Okay.
So this will make a second one. So unfortunately, as the police chief can attest to this, anytime you have rolling stock, as we refer to it, stuff breaks down, it goes down for maintenance. And this is a service that you don't want to have a gap in. When one thing goes down because of service, you need to make sure something's there to take its place. So this is it's a backup, and then it'll also allow us to rotate these ambulances and prolong the life of them. So, thank you. Is that clear?
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Personnel, we're sending forward to EMTB class. And then, it threw me off. I apologize. Miscellaneous. Pub Ed, we did that. We talked about that. One thing we did this last month, and we finished it up today, we've been working with Lions here in town for their fire safety measures. We went through and did a couple walkthroughs with them. They're looking to put an alarm system within the building itself. They have no fire suppression and no alarm system in the building at all throughout that whole entire complex. So if there is an incident that takes place, the only way that anybody's going to know about it is somebody has to physically call 911 with their phone. So they've got a new safety director. She's been working pretty hard at trying to move the company forward a little bit. So we've been spending some time with them, and they're working on getting the alarm systems in there. Today we finished up with both shifts doing hands-on fire extinguisher training. So we actually went through and used up their fire extinguishers and started some fires and did some training and stuff like that. Now, not everybody in the plant, just mainly their supervisors, if we'll call it that. So they had a little class today too. So they've been pretty progressive in that aspect. I'll give them kudos on that. We participated in the trunk or treat. We also passed out candy at the fire station. I think they said about 200 kids maybe is what came through there. So that was good. We did 6 smoke detector inspections. And one thing I did not put on the miscellaneous, and I apologize. So Dakota Schroeder, one of our firefighters, he's been very involved with us. Very, very dedicated individual. As you know, he had brain cancer, and he still has it. He's fighting it right now with radiation and chemo. We're doing a benefit for him. It'll be this Saturday, November 16th at the Elks. It's a bingo event, $25 at the door. It opens at 5 p.m. and it's from 6 to 9. We're just basically trying to raise some money for him to help offset the cost for medical, and obviously he had been off work because of the surgery itself. So he seems to be doing okay with it, but as we know, things get expensive very quickly, and the bills don't stop. So other than that, I have nothing else.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to Fire and Police Commission report.
Good evening. First, I want to start out by thanking you guys for allowing me to attend the Police Commission conference. It was last weekend up in Naperville, and it's always educational, and I was really glad to see that the attorney that we had come talk to us before retired, and I shouldn't say I'm glad he retired, but John Kelly, who I've known through 911 all these years, is going to be our new attorney, and he's at our disposal at any time we want to ask him any questions. And I get along with John real well, and I've known him for quite a while, so it was nice to be able to meet up with him and talk to him again. And the biggest thing that I always pushed during the conference was always to be fair and consistent. And so I brought that back, you know, to our committee as we go ahead and do these interviews and go through the application process, that we make sure that we're always fair and consistent. As far as the police side, we had 14 applicants that applied. We had 2 that were ineligible, so we struck those, so we had 12 that was possible. And with today's society, only 6 ended up showing up. So we had 6 come in, take the written test. We're now waiting on the process of them to be graded. And once they are graded, then we are set up for do interviews. I believe it's on the 26th. So that process to make a list, or we have a list, but to add to the list, I guess, is ongoing. And hopefully by the end of the month, we will have something for that. Also in front of you, we did the lieutenant and sergeant's tests that we talked about. That was we had Deputy Chief King make that test. It was over IVC traffic codes, criminal codes, policy and procedure, and ordinances. They got 100 questions, and so we did those. We graded it, and then we went and did interviews with all 5 of them, and then this is the list. The testing procedure was 40 points for the written test, 40 points for the interviews, and then the chief had 20 points. So we put that all together, and that's how you'll see points next to their names. So I'm recommending that Sergeant Harris be promoted to lieutenant, and I'm also requesting that Patrolman Smith be promoted to sergeant. If you look at the list, just in case you get it confused with the sheriff's office can pick anybody off that list. The police commission with cities cannot. You have to take them in the order that they have. So I recommend at the city council meeting at the end of this month that you promote these 2 effective December 1st. Any questions? Comments? Concerns? Thank you very much.
Move on to Chief Douglas with the police department report.
Evening. I will start off with the calls for service last month, which was 395, which I believe was a little bit higher than the previous month. Under miscellaneous, I'm going to turn this over to Sergeant Harris and Officer Smith. They attended, we finally were able to get those guys into drone school. We had talked to you guys about it about 4, 5, 6 months ago, about going forward with possibly looking into a drone program. After about the 3rd or 4th time trying to get them enlisted into a class, we finally were able to get them. So it was a weeks-long class, so they're both here tonight to give you guys a quick presentation. I don't know how quick is, but they want to do a presentation for you guys and kind of show you what it's all about and go from there then. So if you be patient with Sergeant Harris as he sets up his equipment.
Heidi, can you grab the lights,
Right behind you now.
please? The other 2.
Is that better?
I don't see it.
Which ones you want on?
Up here.
The ones over us.
That work, or is that too light?
No, that's over us. There you go.
No.
Getting closer.
Is there one more?
There is one more.
Beautiful. Thank you.
We are in the light.
Do you see the light?
Thank you.
This quote here is through a guy named Luke Core. He is the drone program coordinator at Jacksonville PD. I stable. It has all the thermal imaging in it. It will come with a speaker so we can talk to people with it. It'll have a spotlight on it as well, so if we're in the woods, whatever, we can light it up. It can also be flown in the rain, the snow, all that type of weather. It can fly in. And it has what they call the quick swap battery system in it. So it's got 2 batteries, and with this quote, we're getting a total of 8 batteries. But it has 2 batteries in it, so when you land it, you can pull one battery out, put a new one in, pull the other battery out, put another one in, and go right back up. Instead of shutting it completely down, switching a battery, and then waiting for it to pick up the satellite signals again and go back up. So, in this video, one of the things that they pointed out was like, it's really good for the fire department, so Chief Meyer will probably want to see this one as well. But they had gone to a structure fire, the fire was out, but with the thermal, they flew over the top of it, and you can still see the hot spots in the attic and stuff like that. And then it also goes through all the different thermal that the drone has built into it. So there's the thermal. The red is obviously where the hot spots are still in the attic. Like I said, these images are from the drone that quote is for. It's the exact same setup, all that stuff. And it has a 200 times zoom, I believe is what it said. So when we were flying it there, we were 300 feet in the air and reading license plates that were like a mile away.
Cross town.
These are all the different thermal colors that you can use depending on the situation and the time of day and light. The next video will show that a little bit better. So this video here, the other instructor in the class works for Peoria Heights PD, and he's in charge of their drone program, and that's this drone. And what had happened with all the colleges in Peoria, my son going to one now, one of the students had a little bit too much to drink, got lost in the middle of January, ended up in a really, really fancy part of town, and was knocking on people's doors trying to get in, and of there's a tree right by that black dot, and that's what he was looking for, was that black thermal signature. And here in a second, he turns it back, the thermal imaging goes off, and you can clearly see. There's the kid right there by the tree.
Oh.
And of course, they called an ambulance. He was treated for alcohol poisoning and hypothermia, but he ended up being okay. So, like I said, Luke did give me quotes on a couple other different ones, but this one has all the features and functions that we would probably need, so. Any questions? I put in there, the quote was for $18,000. However, Luke said once we made a decision on what we were going for, he can also get a discount for law enforcement officers. So, once I get the okay for you guys to purchase this, he'll come back with a discounted price. But then we needed to add on this generator that I looked up through Harbor Freight for $600. So that way, if we are out on a long look or whatever, we can have that running and charging the batteries while we're out searching or whatever we are doing with it.
You look at the list and there's like 8 batteries, there's a generator, and you're probably thinking it's like unnecessary things. Before we went to this class, I was like, this isn't really good. I don't even know where we can go. We've all had RC cars and we're little. And the first couple of days of the class were just PowerPoints and trying to stay awake. And you're like, why do I have to know all this? The last 2 days when we went out to the field to fly, it's just this elaborate thing. It was windy out that day, so batteries weren't lasting half as long. So it's amazing the setup. They've got the backup truck, the monitors, the generator is running constantly to charge the batteries that are switching out every 20 minutes. But granted, they have 3 drones in it. But just to keep a constant operation with the drone in the air, it just takes so much. It was just amazing to see. I started asking questions about generators. Maybe again, this is a hobby, but obviously it's expensive. I'll get out. But if you're looking at like 8 batteries, that's why if we have to stay in the air for multiple hours for something. The drone can only, if it's windy, cold, hot, the drone's only going to be up for 15, 20 minutes, and we're going to bring it down to the battery swap and then take it back out. And the quick swap thing he's talking about, normally you'd have to take the batteries out, it would power down, it would lose satellite comms, and then we'd have to go back up, and it's like a 2 to 3 minute process. And it doesn't seem like that long, but really, we don't have to require satellites and get right back up. It saves, that 3 minutes is pretty critical. Just in case you're looking at 8 batteries and thinking, why do we need 8 batteries, or why do we need a generator?
I do have a quick question. I think this is a great resource for multiple departments, so it would be great to have. In the fire instance, and it may be a silly question, but can it also determine heat from a body that may still be in there that is,
I don't know about inside.
Not inside.
but, okay. I was just curious.
Inside, but what it would do is like, if somebody ran from us, went into the woods, nighttime, something like that, it would
Yeah.
heat them up.
And if I'm not mistaken, like within the last 2 weeks, I think Kankakee County had a situation on a traffic stop over there by the 308. And they end up deploying their drones and they end up capturing the 2 suspects that had fled. And they were captured because of the drones with the heat sensors. So, yeah.
That's great.
I can name 2 instances over
Yeah.
the years when I was on, no Chief Buyer was there, when the kids went into the cornfield behind Wanda Kendall, we had out the ladder truck, firemen. We could have saved hours and manpower and fuel and everything on that,
There
would have
was-
probably paid for half of this.
I mean, I know it's Woodland, but just 2 months ago, there was a young girl, 3 or 4 years old, that wandered away down in Woodland near the river that they had to search for.
And I
So
know that
Jeremy, what account did we use the body cams out of?
we have money in the ARPA fund and we could cover all of it with that.
ARPA.
You mind if I say something?
Sure, Chief.
So just to add on to what these guys are doing, I solely support it too. There's a lot of things on just our side that I've seen it used for Hazmat is a big one that people forget about. Believe it or not, it gets used for hazmat. That keeps people out of the contaminated area. You're able to tell with that thermal imaging camera how full a container is of that product without putting anybody in harm's way. To give you an idea, our thermal imaging camera that we have that does the same thing as that, now keep in mind, it's just a handheld thing, and it's limited to what we can do with our hands. You know, that by itself is $6,000. To give it wings and let it fly around, it becomes so much more versatile. We've used it for rescues on the rivers and also for searches on the rivers, because the thermal imaging side, there's a lot of aspects to it more than just flying around and looking at it. It is definitely a very versatile tool, and the fact that it's even getting brought here, it's pretty amazed.
Becoming like the most popular thing for police
It is.
departments nowadays. Like there's departments that have 10 of them. They have these little small ones too that we could talk about in the future, that if you're going to clear a building,
Yep.
it'll fly around in the building so you don't have to send somebody in to get shot to find somebody. You know exactly. It's amazing all the technology that these things can do. That's what all the police departments are using these days. So.
Fireside's doing the same thing. They're following suit. So it's
Jeremy, do you know what's left in that account?
Roughly, I believe around probably plus or minus 30,000, plus or minus, so there's easily 18,000 that will cover this.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
all about this. This is an amazing tool in the toolbox. We talked about it after the last meeting. 100% support it. Do we need a motion to go forward with
I
that?
think it's a
If so,
no-brainer.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Faragher,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcia,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Kathy, put in the motion that this be paid for out of, ARPA money, and then, get it on full council for Tuesday, or 2 weeks.
You know, right now we have our two officers, but later down the road, if you guys choose to, like somebody represented from the fire department or Eric or somebody else, I mean, obviously it'll have to be one of the two officers that deploys it. But I mean, they understand when they went through this course that they were going to be on call for it. So it's just it's a week-long class. I think it cost us,
The class isn't, I don't think, very much, but to get our actual license, it was $175 to take the test.
yeah, so, but yeah, so Chief Byer might want to try to get somebody through sometime in the future when the class is offered again.
we are.
Couple more guys too, so that way there's always gonna be somebody around, because this drone stuff, I mean, it's in 2 little cases. Pick them up, throw them in the squad, and go wherever you need to go. Set it up and get up in the air, so.
Thank you.
So just a quick
Thank you.
question, can anything off of this drone be used toward another drone in, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
I don't know.
Probably not, huh?
I couldn't tell you if like the batteries are gonna,
It's probably like computers in 2 years, it'll be,
Yeah, the switch.
it'll be outdated and the technology will be passed over.
said that the batteries have like 200 to 500 charging cycles of life. I don't know how we would use that, but then in 5 years, if we needed another drone, is that drone even gonna use these batteries or not?
Right, yep, yep.
I do know one thing, if I was in the class, is that DJI is one of the top, or probably the top performer of drones. And with us being a police department, if something was to happen to our drone, we call this Luke guy, and he can have it sent and fixed and back to us within a week. So we won't have to wait like 3 or 4 weeks, what it normally takes to put a rush on it, so. So that's what their service plan is, so.
My drone's a DJI. I think Benny's is as well, right?
Yep.
Yep. I've been happy with mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll go quick. Police department took part in the trunk or treat of town, schooling. Douglas Forbes Corvu took an online open source investigation. So basically, if they get sent a picture or name, they went to, I think it was a 2-day class in order to do like an investigation where they could actually just off a name that there's all these open sources, public areas where they can track these people down and find it. So it's pretty, a good class to have in law enforcement. Sergeant Marcotte went to Clear and Present Danger Correction, took part in a virtual conference presented by the state police. And that's all I got. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other committee member inquiries?
Nope.
No?
Seeing none, need a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Okay, next on our list is code enforcement. I call a meeting to order. Kathy, would you do roll call?
Anderson,
Here.
Rolfs,
Here.
Marcier,
Here.
Delar,
Here.
Faragher,
Here.
Mensch,
Here.
Cahill,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Mayor,
Here.
9 present.
Okay, do we have any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to Eric Brandt.
Thanks, Don. IDNR flood mitigation, not much to report, other than we did receive another reimbursement from the state on 17th of October for $12,562, and that's the remaining unpaid balances that we had with the state, so they're all caught up. Ordinance citations, 6 warnings, 10 citations. Everybody's got a copy of my written report on those. Any questions on any of these? Facade grants, we got 1 application, TNS Developments for 129 East Walnut Street. They've already done the work. They did repainted the front facade, and I included a picture of the invoice, or excuse me, a picture of the front facade that was repainted and a copy of the invoice. And they're requesting $2,860.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Cahill.
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Faragher,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
roll call carried.
213, excuse me, 1213 and 1215 Sugar Creek Court. This has been going on for several years that I've been dealing with it. Garbage debris, overgrown brush. We had a complaint from the neighbor. I included a copy of the email sent to the mayor that he's fearing the people that are hanging out there. Contacted the attorney about this. You had approved in the past to foreclose on the property for all the unpaid fines. They're working on it. They're not there yet. They're having trouble serving all the property owners. Their recommendation was if we wanted to do something over there would be to go in and clean up the garbage, brush, and debris and clear that out to make it more presentable and hopefully do away with some of the folks that are hanging out down there. Additionally, then we could go for a demolition order on the 2 structures that are there. There's 2 modular type classroom structures, extremely poor condition. The roof is collapsed on one. They're unsecured, doors are open, windows are broken, and you know that they should be cleaned up. The property owner next door that complained, he keeps his property in perfect condition. The grass is mowed. It always looks good. He lost one of his renters due to the fear of the people hanging out next door. So
Can we legally take action now or yet?
we can legally take action on the garbage, brush, and debris. I had served notice back in 2022. Legal counsel said, yeah, those were good solid notices. We could go in there any minute with council's permission.
Let's do it.
And then we would put liens on the properties.
I'll make that motion that we take action to clean that up, including the debris and the brush and the buildings that are there completely cleared out.
Second.
The buildings will have to remain until we get a demolition order.
Okay, as soon as we get a demolition order, let's have those removed too.
Okay, we have a second, Kathy?
Yeah, Yami.
Yes.
Yami, second.
Okay, Delar,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Cahill, Faragher,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
roll call carried.
Adopt a Street program. So we were approached from the folks to adopt Elm Street down here. I asked legal counsel to look at it. So he's drafted this Adopt a Street agreement. Everybody's got a copy of this. It's really in-depth. I believe removes all the liability from the city as can possibly be removed. Dictates who is responsible for what. Basically, the city is only going to be responsible for providing garbage bags and a signage. So, you know, and this is not specific to Elm Street. This could be any street and any organization that would want to keep a street in their neighborhood clean. Public Works Director is in charge of this. I'm going to ask that this gets kicked over to Public Works next week. And you guys will have time to take a look at it and see if you want to make any changes, additions, deletions.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say on that. Software package, Sergeant Marcotte was here last month on the PD side talking about the software package that they're looking at adopting for the police side.
And apparently it's good, it happened, so just to expand on what Eric's gonna talk about, the Iroquois County court system is going to provide the software for the police departments in Iroquois County to run license plates, so when I had come to you a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, about getting those software programs, which was gonna cost $26,000, $30,000 plus $6,000 a year, apparently the court system's gonna pay for all that now, so it's not gonna cost
Thanks
us,
for the
police
presentation,
departments.
gentlemen.
It's not gonna cost the police departments anything. So the software is free, so what Eric's gonna talk about is like an additional add-on off of that program that's free that the city can take advantage of.
And that's the reason
saving money,
it's on my agenda is, it would be for code and the adjudication municipal court. So, and it looks like maybe a little more for adjudication. They would be able to take credit card payments. Findings, decisions, order documentation, virtual cash register, online payments, credit card terminal, financial reports, automatic notice generation. So that's on the adjudication side. Not so much on the code side, you know, we'd be able to go into the system. We would have a good online record of what we do as far as code. I think it would be, how do I say it? More of the same, maybe from one individual to the next. It would be more even, more fair. You know, instead of one individual writing a ticket for $500 and another individual writing a ticket for $100, I think it would define what the fines would be and the escalation, and then also tracking the timing. You know, if you give them a 10-day notice to respond, then at the end of the 10 days, you'll be notified to move forward with what needs to be done. And again, record keeping. And then, you know, it's got the export tool for the report. So instead of my scribbles, you know, we would have a nice, neat package report. So the cost of this for code and adjudication right now is $600 per month, which is $7,200 a year. You could probably split that 50-50 with PD side and code side. Does that sound fair?
It would, yeah, because we would get the software uploaded on ours too, so as Eric talked about, like if the officers are out there and they give somebody a notice or a written warning for the citation, it will, or give them a notice to fix it, it will remind you, and from what I understand, it'll automatically send you a reminder that, you know, this, the 14 days is up, for 7 days up, do you want to proceed with the citation? And then it automatically prints out a citation for you. All you gotta do is sign it, and then it's sent to them. So kind of automates everything, and like Eric says, all that information will be uploaded, so if there's a question between, if the police department has already cited somebody and code enforcement or building inspector has already done it, it's all uploaded into the same system, so there's no double whammy on somebody if you don't need to necessarily. And if they come back and say, well, you didn't give me a notice, yeah, we did, it's all automated, there's a record of it and so forth like that, so.
Verbal tracking also, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, we would have a laptop or a tablet in the car, and we give somebody a verbal notice, we type it in, and it's tracked.
And so this
Long.
would tie in with the other system that we're already gonna get on the police side, where with the citations, with the new equipment that we're gonna be getting sometime here in the near future, it will be wireless where it'll be e-citations and E1050. So all that information will be automatically uploaded and sent out, so it makes things a lot more quicker, and hopefully the officers can spend less time coming back up to the office and writing those accident reports out, or on scene writing those citations out, because everything's gonna be uploaded into the system already, and it's just pushing a couple buttons and then kicking it out, so.
So would you be able to, say you guys are on a call and you noticed a backyard that you can't see from the street, would you be able to put something in that notifies?
It will notify into the system, and then if the next day, if Eric's driving by and he sees it and Eric goes to type in that address, he will, if the officer had put it in there, yeah, Eric will see that it's already been
Cause I can
noted.
remember seeing stuff and writing a note, and then Eric was out on the street, I didn't find him, and 2 days later, I find my note again, or it gets forgotten about this way. It'll pop up on Eric's.
You
thing.
know, from talking with Sergeant Marcotte, some of the information, we'll have to upload some of the code, the city ordinances and so forth in there. So there will be some behind-the-scenes work that needs to be done prior to it going on in service, so say. But I think it would be, keep things a lot cleaner and smoother than the system that we have now. And if hypothetically, somebody comes and goes, let's say a Billy Walver, or Eric Brandt, the next guy can pretty much jump in and see exactly what Billy did and Eric did without having a notebook and a file in a cabinet somewhere that they have to search for of what they did on that property 6 months ago, so.
I don't see where it gives you how much cloud storage you get. Does it say anywhere?
I'm not
Are we
for sure,
limited on our
Eric.
cloud storage? You guys know? I'm just curious to see.
I mean, we can check on that. It just says cloud storage,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's,
cloud data storage and cloud backup
I
server.
didn't know if it was limited or not with the amount we're gonna pay.
It's worth looking at.
I'm just curious, how much per month do our fines based off of what this would?
It varies. Eric, you probably know a little bit more about this than I do. I mean,
And that's probably on adjudication side, you know, no one's tracking the financials. I mean, they come in and pay a fine and
Right.
it gets deposited, so
I mean,
no one is really tracking the financials.
roughly, what is it, $300 a month where we're paying, Brian Hyatt right now?
So there's a line item on your financials, says municipal court income. Any money, any fines that get paid, get into that line item. So all you gotta do is look on there.
And I know Sheldon really stepped up last month. They had a number of citations that came in. So depending on when we get those other agencies that come in, they offset the cost, our cost each month of that $300. So I'm not for sure exactly how many Sheldon brought over last month, but from what I recall or what I was told, their part of the bill is substantially increased, which lowered our cost, so. But again, this would all be contingent on, once we get the other system set up through the courthouse, then this would, I don't really have a time frame. They didn't, Lisa's Hines' office, from what I understand, didn't have a time frame exactly how soon they would be going online with everything, so this is still possibly
I'm
couple
not
months
expecting
out.
action tonight. I just, Sergeant Marcotte brought it down. It sounded good to me. I said, let's get a quote and take a look at it, so, something to think about for the future. Any questions, comments? The next item is the Santa Claus house. I'm gonna flip that over to John Donahue. I don't know too much about it yet.
Okay, thanks, Eric. I'm John Donahue with Community Renewal, and Randy Moeller was sort of heading this up, but Juanita had surgery today, so he can't be here. So technical questions, I'll try to answer. I'll pass out some stuff. Stuff on both sides, too. And sorry, I'm gonna be one
That's
That's all right. We can share it.
We can share.
We can share it.
We can share.
Okay, this started last week. We were down decorating the downtown, putting the lights up and everything. And we went by Santa's house and we saw what kind of disrepair it was getting in. The spindles, I don't know if some kids have kicked them out, but they're gone. The siding's getting in bad shape. I think at one time it was actually red, but now it's sort of rust. And the roof is getting bad. So our organization's about revitalization in Watseka and the surrounding areas. So we have raised a little bit of money now. So we figured this might be a good opportunity to do something for the city. So we're looking at, if you see the price on there, there's two prices. The original price was $61. We got it down to $59.19 for a new one. And this is the Martin Homes. They're out there by the table where they have a few examples. And this one's going to be built for us. And the nice thing about it, we can get it here in time for the Christmas festival. So all the little kids will have a new house to be in. Santa will be in a new house. So we thought that's pretty nice. Puts you sort of under the gun, and we're sorry about that, but this didn't start till last week. Like I said, the price on it is $59.19. We can pay $3,000 of that if the city can cover $29.19. Unfortunately, the deposit is due tomorrow. We can send that in, and then the final will be due probably in a week and a half. They said we should get it Tuesday or Wednesday before the festival on Friday. Now, they'll deliver it down there, and they'll do some setup. And then Randy said he had talked to Lauren already about moving the old one out, and then we can have it set up, ready, move the stuff from the old one into the new one, and it can be ready for the festival. So a couple things. The building does have a 5-year warranty. It's going to be, unfortunately, my copying machine wasn't doing very good in color. So it's a red building with a black roof with white trim. It's a wooden building, and the roof is a 40-year metal roof. It's guaranteed not to fade. And like I said, it's got a 5-year warranty. It's red, black, with white trim. So we thought it'd be nice for the town, the kids, and Santa this year. If you guys want to go along with that, we'll...
This looks like the same size, is it?
Pretty
John?
close to the same size, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do a little work, put some sockets in it, but Randy said he can probably do that. We can get it done in time. So we can use it this year. So hopefully you'll go along with it. We think it might be something nice for downtown. It'll look good, look better than the other one, so.
I, for one, appreciate the group coming up with that much money to
Yeah,
do this
well,
project, so I think. I don't see any
Unfortunately,
wrong.
we sort of have meager funds right now. Wish we had more, but we can afford to do 3,000 right now. That helps out.
I'll make a motion that we pay for the balance, $29.19.
Second. Why don't we just pay all of it? Let them keep their money for other projects.
That'd be okay, too.
Rescind your motion.
I'll rescind my motion.
We like to help out. I mean, that's what we're for. We love to, we want to do something for the city. We have some money now we figure this is a good chance to start. So yeah, we can afford 3,000 right now.
All right, let's keep it same then.
Yep, that's fine.
But I appreciate that.
Come out of what, promotions?
Promotions, yes.
Okay, yeah. roll call.
Fairgree,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
roll call carried.
And on a side note, I just wanted to say that thank you for, all the little effort that you put into making the downtown area looking good. Because I was actually driving through the other day, like in the evening time, and I do feel like the downtown area look a little bit more like a Hallmark movie now. So I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
209, 217, and 223 East Walnut. These are the empty lots downtown. I believe, Mayor, are you going to take this one over?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so, talked to a realtor, a while back, as we discussed up here at one of our committee meetings. And he came up with a price, I think of about $19,000 with what we had in it. my thoughts are is that we can counter with 10 and see where that goes. And if we do counter with 10 and that gets accepted, I think we should have a clause in there like we had. It's been on just about every other property that the city has made arrangements to convey or sell. That if it's not substantially completed work within 2 years, then it reverts back to the city. And I think I'd like to have that safeguard in it. But at this point, we're looking at, is it okay to counter back with 10?
Do you know what the intentions are of this person with the lot?
At this point, no, I haven't gotten that far with them, but I didn't know if that was my place to be asking at that point.
I've got a question in regards to the whole process. I know I'm the one that wanted to get it listed, but I saw the listing through Smith Real Estate and saw the listing for $25,000. I'm just curious, and this is just strictly on a procedural basis, how did we enter into a contract with a realtor without having it come through council? How were we able to sign a contract with a realtor, which you have to do in order to get a listing, without having approval to do so? How did we get to that point?
They felt that we had approval with let's get this thing listed. So that's what
Well, it was a statement that I made that we need to get it listed, and that would start the process, but we did not have anybody come back to present to us that a contract we didn't even get a chance to select who the realtor was. So, I mean, I'm not going to question the fact that it's taken place. I'm going to question the procedure of how it was taking place.
So you're saying that wasn't a motion then, Scott, when you said
It was
it?
never a motion that was made to accept or to enter into a contract, which is required by city council in order to enter into a contract.
If we go back to that meeting, it was discussed that we should put those 3 lots up on the market, or talk about it, and also the Opera House. And it completely just slid right by crickets, and it went on to something else. So, no, we never had a motion, we
Nope.
never voted, nothing.
I mean, procedurally, we're required by ordinance in order to enter into a contract with any entity that it must be a full vote, it must make its way through committee, it must make its way to full city council before a contract can be entered in. So, I mean, I'm glad that somebody has followed through with this, but the procedure was not correct. And the fact that we didn't get a chance to choose.
correct. So, do we want to, we can get the contract in, I guess, but like I said, I went with what was being said at the time, and I
But
thought
we didn't get a
people would be happy
chance
that
to
we
look at
went on the market.
Well, the only thing is we didn't get a chance to discuss on who we wanted as a realtor. I mean, there's others in town who may have wanted to give us some kind of a discount on the percentage. I understand Smith Realty is a good realtor. I think your house is listed through them. But I think we should have all had an opportunity to discuss this further.
Okay, so, we can go ahead and take it back from Smith, and, if you guys want to spearhead and talking to the other realtors, we can do that, I guess.
Yes.
I'll see what we can, but like I said, I just followed through with what was asked.
Okay, I'd say let's table it for now until we get arrangements made with the full council on what direction we want to go with it.
Okay, the next thing, number 5 we have on here is the TIF update. And are you doing that, Eric, or is John?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, a while back, we did have a straw poll to proceed with the TIF to try and see what we can do as far as a development. So we contracted with Tesca, and basically what some of the things that we're finding is there's 2 primary TIFs that are going to be a little bit easier to put forth, and that would be the downtown TIF, and that would also be over by what I call the Muller-Jones subdivision TIF. So basically what we need to do in order to put our intent with the other taxing bodies would be to have Joe draw up a resolution to proceed. And again, this is good for economic development, residential development, and it'd be the same thing as what happened with behind the high school at Martin subdivision. I kind of started out with that, but right now, that'd be TIF 1 and TIF 2. Those were existing ones. Those would be a little bit easier since they were existing. There is a TIF 3 that was Martin subdivision. That one's going to be a little bit tougher now to get accomplished. And then I have, there was another area, and you guys were given a map of this a while ago, so you probably have that in your possession somewhere. As far as trying to get the Burkhoff area, some of the vacant land behind, and coming down, I want to say Ernst Grove. So it'd be Veterans to Ernst Grove, wherever the warehouse is for Big R. So right now, TIF 1 and TIF 2 would be the easier of the two and probably the more important. So can we have Joe go ahead and draw up a resolution?
Yes, I think the TIFs are important to have. They certainly try to help develop areas, which was the purpose of a TIF. I think it's important to do that since we are right now currently out of those TIF funds. I'll make a motion that we have Joe continue on with the TIF work.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Kathy?
Faragher,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Anything else for you, Eric?
I got one more. I've been invited to attend a FEMA Emergency Management Institute Field Deployed course down in Springfield, Illinois. It's 4 days. It's December 3rd to 6th. With your blessings, I'd like to attend. It's, these are normally administered out in Edmundburg, Maryland, so they're bringing it to Illinois. It's close by.
Which class is it, Eric?
Pardon?
Which class is it?
FEMA L-273, Managing Floodplain Development through the National Flood Insurance Program.
Good class. Encourage you to take it.
So that's all I have.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Kathy, you want to do a roll call for us?
Miller,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Faragher,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Anything else by anybody up here in the council?
Yeah, okay, so I'll get a hold of Tim Smith and tell him that we had a procedural mistake. And then we'll wait for Jenny and Scott to get back with the other realtors as far as what direction we're going to go.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Hearing nothing else, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call carried.
Yep.